This video is sponsored by PotownStore.com, the best place to get yourself some TCG code cards. They are compatible with TCG Live, and you can of course get everything on the website for 5% off using the coupon code ZapdosTCG. This video is also sponsored by CARDMARKET.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can do it as well. And you can use the referral name ZapdosTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by PLAYMAT.com. This is a platform where you're able to, of course, create your own custom playmat. They have, of course, capabilities to ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So definitely check it out. Last but not least is Dragon Shield, the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. You can of course there's links down below for US and European people, and you can of course get your best quality sleeves available, as well as deck boxes and binders. Thanks so much for sticking around with the commercials. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. If you do, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and let's get this video going. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. As mentioned, you get daily Pokemon TCG videos over here, so if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're making our way to the 50,000 subscriber mark, which is super awesome. I want to thank every single one of you guys out there. So if you're enjoying the content, let me know by rocking the hell out of that like button. It helps out so much. Anyhow, we're going to be checking out the Lille Regional results. That's right, Lille Regionals has concluded. I also went to the tournament. I got 76th if I'm not mistaken, so that's actually not too bad. I got into day 2, but the day 2 run was actually not that great. I was playing Chien-Pao, but I actually got myself some more championship points for the road to Honolulu, Hawaii. With that being said, Mew VMAX once again wins a tournament over in Europe. It seems like every single time people are disrespecting Mew, it wins. So we have Konsta Kalama from Finland all the way here. Lots of people from Finland, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them here in the top 16. So big dub for Finland this weekend. And we're going to be checking out the top 16 deck list and also some rogue decks that pops up here and there. So we have a little bit of an understanding of what the last couple of tournaments will look like for the 151/Obsidian Flames format before we go into Paradox Rift. Because Paradox Rift actually comes out on the 3rd of November. And only 2 weeks after that, we're going to have the first tournaments being, I think the first one is going to be LAIC, which is something I really am looking forward to. Anyhow, with that being said, check out the top 16 decks together with me, shall we? So first list, of course, Mew VMAX Fusion build. This is the 60 that won the tournament, so pretty straightforward build. There's a YOLO one-off tracking shoe in here, but other than that, the list looks super solid. There actually is 2 Feather Ball and not a single Nest Ball in here. So I'm always a fan of playing like 1 Nest Ball, 1 Feather Ball, but they just decided to just play Feather Balls instead. The one-off Avery here is actually super dope. I think Avery won a lot of games here because you could use as again a lot of archetypes in the format. Think about Gardevoir. It's going to be crippling strength thanks to an Avery. Chien-Pao also does not like an Avery here because you can go Avery into Escape Rope and just slaughter the opponent's bench like that. It's gonna be fantastic. There's a Roxanne, there's a Judge, and there's 1 off Path in here. 3 Forest Sealstone, and then 2 Choice Belt. So it's like the fusion build. You still have, of course, the Ice Cube, which can deal with Spiritomb, which is definitely necessary because otherwise you see Spiritomb, you lose if you're playing the DTE build. So and you can still donk people with Melodious Echo and the Meloetta in the list. So straightforward Mew VMAX. Second place for Arthur Trutzler, if I pronounce it correctly. Lost Box, it was the deck that they played. So this is Turbo Lost Box, using of course the Ditto here to have that 5th Comfey. If you start with Comfey, you are Turbo. There's also 2 Roxanne in here, so that's also something you don't see very often. Typically you would see a 1 of Roxanne in a Turbo Lost Zone box, and there's also 1 Cologne in here. So with 4 cross switchers, that's like the craziest thing in this list. 4 cross switchers in the Turbo Lost Zone box will allow you to Radiant Greninja Moonlight Shuriken when the opponent least expected it. Like you're playing cross switchers and Cologne in Lost Box. Yes, they were, and that actually got themselves into that 2nd place out of 855 players. So congratulations. Then Owen Cameraman on the Chien-Pao Baxcalibur train hype. Just like me, I love this deck so much. I currently am still playing with Arceus VSTAR. This is a consistent list. I think this is a similar list to Grand Chance list, if not the exact 60. And we do see, of course, the consistency with 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Battle VIP Pass. You really want to get into the game, develop your board state, get a couple of Beat Barrel out, and then just draw a lot of cards in combination with Irida, and of course concealed cards, getting the combo going with Cross Switcher and Canceling Cologne. This has a great time against Charizard and against Gardevoir, which were the most popular decks from, of course, the Lille Regionals. So very cool to see that Chien-Pao gets a top 4 placement, well deserved, because the deck is still underrated and being disrespected even though it is so good. Patrick Bortasovic from the Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken, played Lugia. And that's actually a very funky story. I think they had trouble registering for the tournament, and then eventually they were able to get in, and then they get this top 4 placement going around with Lugia VSTAR. This is a Carlos build. Of course, playing that high amount of Snorlax. Having Luxray and Reversal Energy helps out a ton against Pidgeot EX decks, and it is very easy to get that in play. Also works in the mirror match, but Lugia didn't perform all that well. Of course, it has that top 4 placement here, as we can see, but there's not a lot of Lugia that was played at the tournament and converted really well. So yeah, I think it wasn't even on the day 2 meta chart. So crazy to see that Lugia. Of course, it is a great deck when you, of course, the Cremamatics, the Capturing Aromas go your way, and Masagosa, the deck can run a very deep run. Alberto Conti, the only believer of the Lost Tina out there, and this was a very crazy list. I've seen this before with 4 Path to the Peak, and they actually were not playing any Manaphy. So instead of going for like the Manaphy, they just said 4 Path, Path wins games, Path Roxanne, and also 2 Iono, 2 Roxanne, and Path. So pretty much this list is all about like going early game for the attack on the Giratina V, Abyss Seeking, having a lot of cards in the Lost Zone. Your Giratina gets blown up by something, you Iono Path, and then you start swinging with a Giratina VSTAR. You can also use Greninja to snipe, and there's Cramorant and Sableye. So Lost Tina, don't disrespect it, it is still good. Gabor from Menen, actually from Germany, and actually speaks a fair amount of Dutch as well. I always try to talk to this fella because he also comes to Belgium from time to time. So this is DTE Mew with Grabber and the Luxray package. We've seen this in action before, and yeah, it is going to be a deck that strips the opponent's hand away. You have Path, Judge in combination with Luxray, so the opponent, and in combination with Grabber, so the opponent has like almost a 0 card hand, and then you can swing with Mew time and time again. So high amount of Path, high amount of Disruption with 3 Judge and Iono. So very cool to see Mew. 2 different versions of Mew in the top 8. There's Hermione Hitalati from Finland as well, playing Gudra Lost Box. And I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but Gudra has actually some placements here. It also saw some minor success in Japan as well. But this is going to be a build. You can either disregard the Gudra line, or you can just embrace it against specific archetypes. Because you can just act as a regular Lost Zone box deck with Sableye, Cramorant, Greninja, and Zamazenta as the main attackers. But sometimes against specific archetypes, let's say you're up against something like a Lugia or whatever, you could be playing actually Gudra, which has so much bulk by your side, and the opponent will not be able to run through a Gudra. Very, very interesting for sure that Gudra is making its way into this top 8 placement, and yeah, for good reason. It is a Lost Zone deck. Instead of going for the Disruption with like Paths and Giratina VSTAR, this is going to be having defense by your side with Hisuian Gudra VSTAR. And then to round off the top 8, Fabien Peugeot actually still on the Gardevoir hype train, the only Guardi that made it into top 8 using Champions Festival. Okay, people are going to be saying, no, it's a very expensive card, it's a World's promo, but yeah, Champions Festival allow you to heal off 10 damage from all of your Pokemon if you have a full bench, meaning you can get an additional energy onto your Shining Arcana to one-shot specific archetypes. Actually, specific Pokemon that have like 280 HP, which is very, very cool to see. You could also rely on good old classic Reversal Energy, and this is going to be a deck that just draws a tons of cards with Refinement, Concealed cards, and even thrown in here the one of Zinnia. So we don't see Palpat, instead going for 3 copies of Boss's Orders instead, and this is having the Mirage Tap as well. If you are falling behind a little bit, don't get your Curlials out in time, you can always revert to the Mirage Tap to get your Curlials in play. So no Luminion, no Forest Seal Stone, this is the exact 60. Then Oijvind Schvinhoevjevut, Yeah, this is very hard to pronounce. I'm sorry, but a well-known player, very good player from Finland again, playing the exact same 60 that Konsta used to win the tournament. So we've seen this before, so I'm not gonna go in detail. But they both played the exact 60, and it worked out pretty well for both of them. Pedro Vincencio, I think I played against this person. If I'm not mistaken, that was the Zard. Was that the Zard? Yeah, I think I played against them, if I'm not mistaken. So by Pidgeot Charizard. With the Arven, actually it's just Arven Zard. It's very good, to be honest, because we've seen this in Brazil working out miracles. Not a lot has changed. They do play the Penny, so they want to get trapped here and there, but also can get rid of the Entei V or this Luminion V as liabilities. So that's pretty cool indeed. So you have the Lost City, so you can slap a lot of stuff in the Lost Zone. I think this deck is pretty good. I think I lost to the fact that they actually used Lost City from time to time, and they were really quick to use Mew, Battle VIP pads, go wide on the board, and Pidgeot finding everything time and time again is very good for sure. So this deck, you can go second, use Arven, get 4 Sealstone, Battle VIP pads, get an Entei, get a Charmander, use the 4 Sealstone on Entei, use another VIP pass. So the deck is super consistent, gets out what it wants, and it has been proven to work from time to time. The highest placing Charizard build, by the way. Then there's Arni Karijala. I think this is also a player from Finland, and I think this they aged up in the Master Division recently. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now they have their first Limitless page, and they were really happy about it. That's something I saw on over at X/Twitter. So Carlos build of Lugia VSTAR, still piloting 3 Snorlax. They are not playing Luxray. Instead, they went for Radiant Charizard, which is also a very great cleanup Pokemon. With works with Luminous Energy, by the way. Yeah, pretty interesting build for sure, because there's only one Masagosa in here, so sometimes playing a ticker line of Lugia just pays off. I've seen a lot of Lugia lists cutting down to like a 3-2 or a 3-3 line of Lugia VSTAR just because they're playing more ball engines or great balls, but I think having a ticker line is probably better. There's Edwin Mesman from the Netherlands playing Gardevoir. Let's check it out together, shall we? So Gardevoir, double reversal energy, 2 collapse. That's definitely helping out against Lost Box for sure. So your damage, you collapse away your stuff. With 2 collapse, I would also prefer Luminion in this build because collapse and Luminion are like going hand in hand. You use Luminion, get your supporter collapse instantly, get rid of Luminion. So some additional stuff there, but they are playing higher amount of supporters in the form of like 3 Boss Doors and also are playing 2 Workers. So Worker and Collapse combining itself to get rid of Path to the Peak. There's also a Spiritomb in here, so thinking about the fact that they don't always need to bump the path, because if you play Spiritomb and you're up against DTE Mew probably will not be able to draw and get the combo off regardless, so there is that. So nobody's playing Luminion anymore. It's like only Tord Reckless that plays Luminion. Lucas Jeannot from France playing Lost Box, and looks like a Turbo Lost Box, in the sense that they're playing Squawkabilly as well. So they really want to be getting that turn 1 Dragonite or turn 1 Radiant Greninja off to just run away with the game and cheese off like that. Very cool. 2 Town Stores helping out with finding 4 Sealstone, but also the 1 Bravery Charm. Sometimes the Bravery Charm on Dragonite can lock up games because people don't have a way to respond to it instantly. So lots of Turbo Lost Box. I saw a lot of it during day 2. Lots of Turbo Lost Box. Then there's Natty Kosek from the Czech Republic, Lugia VSTAR. So this is actually playing the Single Strike package. So this is the highest performer for Single Strike Lugia. And I think this deck, even though it has Cobalion, has a very terrible Charizard matchup, but all the rest of the matchups are a little patched up better. I think Single Strike has an easier time against Gardevoir for sure. And yeah, this list is something we're familiar with. They are playing Penny, so and only 1 Jet Energy, so still high on the amount of Gift Energies, DTEs there. So only 1 Jet Energy. That's why there's also a Penny in here, and also can get rid of your 2 prize liabilities. So you have Penny and the 1-off Collapse. I'm a bigger fan of playing 2 Collapse because you still have a lot of 1 prizes. You have Cobalion, Stonejourner, Radiant Serena, Yveltal, you know. So 2 Collapse in here would probably be the way I would be playing, but congratulations, another Lugia doing so well. And then Adam Dank from another Czech Republic. So yeah, you see that Czech Republic also highly present at the top 16 slots here. Turbo Lost Box, and is playing 2 Pokestop. So I prefer the Turbo Lost Box with Pokestop because Pokestop, there's so many items in here. Mirage Gate, Super Rod, VIP Pass, Escape Rope, Switch Card, Nesball, Lost Vacuum. So too many outs. So I am a big fan of Pokestop and Turbo Lost Box. Again, People are now attacking Spiritomb over the Drapion because Drapion, whatever you want to be pronouncing it. Yeah, I don't think... The people were expecting more DTE than Fusion Mew, and then Fusion Mew runs away with the game. That's always how it happens. And then Jose Maria Sanchez Fuentes from Spain lost box with Giratina VSTAR. So they are playing Luminion in there. Yeah, that's a 2-prize liability, but also if it gets like knocked out, you can instantly have access to like Roxanne plays a little bit easier. So, and having that turn 1 Colress is always the most consistent thing. People are like scratching Luminion for Pokegear sometimes and the Giratina build. That's personally in my Giratina Lost Zone build, but yeah, also not playing 4 Jet Energies. I like the 4 Jet Energies in the Lost Tina build, but yeah, they cut some corners here and there and it paid off. Top 16 for Lost Tina. They are playing that Manaphy, by the way. That is the top 16 deck list, so let's just take a little bit of a look of some more interesting lists. There's Matthew Clark from the UK. Talked to him a little bit here and there, and the cool thing, they are still playing Arcdura. They are a really big fan of Arcdura. It paid the way, and they actually were having, yeah, this is the believer of the Arceus, I would say. So Arceus with Duraludon playing that path as well. Very similar to the 9th place list of the last regionals over in the US. You have Mawile to trap, you have Alakazam, which can move around some damage counters here and there. You have the Choice Belt, so Choice Belt and Alakazam definitely could work. There's no Hawlucha in here, so sometimes that could be the thing where you, Arceus is still going to be able to slap 220, but yeah, if you're able to slap a little bit of damage and then move that around, have Choice Belt as well, you can definitely do some miracles here and there. Duraludon auto wins Lugia builds. They were also up against, I would say, a Lugia player playing Roseanne's backup to just get back the Mew and then use the genome hacking twice against the Dura, so that's definitely something I wanted to mention here. But Charon's Care wins against Lost Box, Duraludon wins against Lugia, and Arceus is just such a strong attacker in the game for sure. So yeah, strong. There's also a lot of Path in here, so with Path and Iono you can also win and cheese away games against Guardy. So solid Arceus list that we want to be checking out. What are the other? Yeah, this Banat deck. Yeah, there, Mateusz Laskiewicz from Poland. Always try to playing item lock and make item lock work. They did really well with Vikavolt during the last format, but now look at this Banat deck. So it's actually like a Gardevoir EX deck with a big Banat layer on top of it. Or maybe we just say Banat with a small engine of a Gardevoir. So you have Refinement and you can use Psychic Embrace to power up some attackers here and there. Cool thing is that with Shadow Rider Calyrex V, you can shut down, you can slap down Path in play and then use that Shadow Mist to trap instantly. There is item block with the Banat, so Lost Box cannot, or actually, yeah, against Lost Box that's actually pretty funny because they're not going to be able to play Switch Out, and with that Wasteland Stadium, they're having an additional retreat cost, making their trapped a little bit in the active, while you can just spread around some damage with Radiant Alakazam. We did see that on the first day. Actually, on day 2, the first match that was streamed, it was up against Rune Hermans playing that Lost Box, and we did see that this deck pretty much ate it alive. And item block is strong. Decks relying on rare candy. Think about Baxcalibur, think about Charizard. If they can get the turn 2 item block off, you're not going to be able to candy. What are you going to do? You're going to be so slow in the format, and then you're going to be easily able to power up Pokemon, spread some damage around with Alakazam, and then go crazy with Gardevoir attacking for 190, which is actually pretty interesting. There's also Mew, which can use genome hacking to copy-paste like bigger attacks. You could copy-paste an attack of a Dragonite. You can copy-paste Radiant Greninja to snipe some targets. It's a very funky deck that we really need to be taking a look at. Also having Cheryl by your side to heal up your Banat, or if your Gardevoir is almost knocked out, you can also use Cheryl to just absorb some damage. And this is a very cool list, and I'm glad it paid off for them to just have such a unique placement here. 25th spot for Banat. Then there is a Snorlax block. There's actually 2 of them. There's the one from Alessandro Cremascoli, which was actually his birthday. Super cool to see. And then there's Alessandro Bax. I don't know if they are playing the exact 60 or not. No, they are not playing the exact 60, but pretty similar, using Luxray and the block Snorlax in combination. So you strip away the opponent's hand, and then you have Snorlax block, and Pidgeot can get any single card from the deck time and time again. Bravery Charm, getting your Snorlax to 200 HP, and the thing you want to be doing is boss. And you can set up your Pidgeot if you have access to the candy or to the Ultra Ball. There's a high amount of Arven in here to get the combination going, in combination with Rotom to draw some cards. So Snorlax block, if you don't have any switch outs, you're gonna be sorry. There's 2 DTEs in here as well. Sydney, Giacomo can deal with Mew VMAX and stuff. So Yeah, Snorlax block. I'm happy to see it work out. So let's check out this other Snorlax block. This is from Alexander Coley, well known. It's actually iCaterpie for the people that don't know. Well known for his control kind of style. This is a stall block Snorlax build, and this actually playing cross switchers and all that. So yeah, Misfortune Sister is such an annoying card to be dealing with. I've been playing a lot of Chien-Pao against block Snorlax, and my personal strategy, what I personally always do is like, I use Lost Vacuum on my own Manaphy to put it in the Lost Zone so they cannot use Erika's Invitation to just have Manaphy on top of that. There's no Pot Helmet in here, but who needs that when like a card like Manaphy only slaps 20, 20, 20, 20. You have so much time to Penny Loop indeed. So cool to see Snorlax block as well. Any other specific decks that we want to be checking out? There's Miraidon, there's Urshifu. I think there was a specific Urshifu build playing Rayquaza. Yeah, this is the build. I was also up against a person playing that. So this was also super unique in this tournament. They actually are playing 4 Cheryl in the deck. I think 3 of the 4 people that played this got points, which is insane. So Rayquaza can allow you to dig a little bit deeper because you can discard your hand, draw 3, which is actually pretty nice. You want to be finding Cheryl time and time again because Mew VMAX has a lot of HP, and then when you can Cheryl every single time, the opponent will not be able to respond deeply enough, and that's going to be fantastic for you. You can Cheryl spam 4 times, and then you will probably run away with the game. Other than that, you just have Yoga Loop, G-Max, Rapid Flow, as we've all come to know. So they cut some lines here and there to add in the 4 Cheryls, but Cheryl is just so broken, definitely against Charizard. Okay, what else can we see that it is kind of unique in here? I want to be shouting out Vinny, playing Lost. I think this is the only Lost box Sableye in the Day 2 meta. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really want to be checking out the list here, giving some shoutouts where shoutouts are due. So pretty similar to the list that also got into a top 8 recently in the US. Playing Articuno for the Cresselia, and you have Cramorant. And they actually dodge hopefully a lot of Lugia. And of course, the Hawlucha helps out a ton in the mirror match. No Roxanne in here. They opted to go for the Iono. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a bigger fan of the Roxanne, but yeah, there's that split line between Beach Guard and Pokestop. I like that a lot. And there's Echoing Horn, which can actually cheese so much games, where Sableye is just such a monster. Definitely with 3 vacuums. You circle around your Comfeys time and time again, and then out of nowhere, you're at 10, and then you sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. You can Clara, you sprinkle some more, and you run away with games. And then late game, Charizard swoops in. There's no Ditto in here as the 5th Comfey, but there are like 4 switch cards, 4 escape rope, and yeah, 3 lost vacuums. So getting into that like 10 cards in the Lost Zone by turn 2 is definitely possible with a list like this. I also personally like 2 Manaphy in the Lost box Sableye deck, just for people that want to be spamming Radiant Greninja. Okay, anything else? An Arctina. Is there going to be a classic Arctina Judge Path? It is, but there is a Mew in here. That's the only thing noteworthy. Okay, what else can we just talk about here? It's my list. If you want to be seeing my list, by the way, it is the classic Chien-Pao with Arceus, with B-Barrel, and my classic personal favorite card, Cynthia's Ambition. So this is my exact 60 if you want to be taking a roll with it. I think it's very good. If you have a great opening hand, you can run away with a lot of games. It all depends on your opening hand, by the way. And then an Arc Flying Pika. Is that with Alolan Vulpix? Yeah, it is with Alolan Vulpix. I saw that. So with Volo in here, Radiant Gardevoir have some additional bulk and Lost Cities. And the Leafy Combo Poncho helps out a ton. If you can get that onto Alolan Vulpix, they cannot like cross with your boss or something, which is very, very, very crazy. So yeah, funky list for sure for the Lille region. So that was it for, yeah, talking about some deck lists. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. Helps out in many ways. I always appreciate it. And we're going to be checking out some more Paradox Rift content very shortly because I'm so stoked for that new set to come out. To be testing out so many different builds. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for some more Pokemon TCG epicness. Go check out my sponsors, by the way. PokestownStore.com, the best place for TCG live code cards. You can use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% off. There's yourplaymat.com where you can get 10% off today by clicking the link down below. Create your own custom playmat you've always dreamed of, so you are unique at a tournament. There's Dragon Shield for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. Definitely check out the links down below. And for people from the yeah, people from Europe, go check out CardMarket.com. It is the best platform to buy and sell cards. So definitely use a referral name ZapdosTCG to help support the channel, and CardMarket.com. Have yourself a good one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So Lille Regionals was fantastic. Definitely also don't forget to check the vlog that I made. Thank you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.